It's us, right? It's us?
Mm-hmm.
What are we doing?
Walking.
Where are we going to?
Somewhere.
I gotta kick these kids' ass. They were supposed
You
to clean this up.
Kick their ass.
I gotta
They
shut
they're
the...
sitting their ass off.
Now we're past what they needed to clean up. Anyway, the asparagus.
Yeah.
I think my father's been here knocking it off. Yeah, he's been. They were here. This is where this is some of it. Dad's been here. This run is about done.
Brand.
There's another run of them up there, but they're all overgrown. See how high they are? That's a nice patch up there. Oop.
Let's see.
Yeah, come on.
Let's see.
This was the asparagus.
Oh, yeah, they're all way overgrown.
Well, you gotta let them grow. You can't let them. You can't keep taking and taking and taking. But this is wild asparagus. Oh, my old man's been here.
Yeah.
Look.
There's one.
Yeah, here's one.
There's one.
He didn't get that one. You know, what are you gonna do? We'll let them.
Okay.
Yeah, they're reaching the end. See, what happens is when they get to that point, they start to curl over.
That means
they're done.
They're done.
It's better to just let them go.
There's another one there. That's a big one.
Yeah, too big. Anyway, yeah, right?
Left.
Is this thing recording? Now it's recording.
You have to hit 3 times?
That's just being a pain in the neck. We're just checking the asparagus. There's another asparagus patch here, but I think it's done.
Oh, right here is done.
Yeah, I think this one has run its course. It's been here for several years. And I don't...
This one, right there.
Oh, there it is.
There's
Yeah.
one.
Yep, there's the last remaining one. I should probably get some fertilizer and put on it. Maybe I can save the patch. I don't know. Oh, no, Dad's been here. Look. Either that or the deer are coming and get them, but I doubt that. They get real woody when they get older.
I picked a couple of them here.
Yeah. I think my camera lens is like really filthy. What do you think? No, I'm pretty sure the camera lens was really filthy. Because now it looks crystal clear. All right, so what me and Theresa are doing is we're actually going down here and we're gonna walk the crooked rows, right? Right, Miss Theresa? Walk the crooked rows. They're not crooked. They're actually not terrible. They are crooked.
It's what you call the alcoholic farmer.
Yeah.
Planting corn.
That's not true. It's called, I didn't want to spend $2,500 on a steering unit for my GPS. I figured I'd do it myself. And I don't mind crooked rows personally. I think they're just fine. Because the result, quite honestly, is the combine doesn't care. Right?
Yeah.
The combine don't
Oh
care.
my
So
God,
they're...
look how tall they've gotten already.
This is high traffic area. My aunt's dog died and they buried her down here.
Oh,
and
down here?
instead of just driving down here with, you know, they just kept driving back and forth like 25 times and smashed the outside row down as if the dog was more important. It's not, but whatever. Dogs get old and dogs die. And that, for some reason, seems to elude people that that happens. So, anyway. You can see down the rows, right?
I can see it.
Oh, it looks good.
Yeah.
So yeah, so what we're doing is we're actually just walking down to, there's 2 small fields on this farm, the home farm here. And I want to see what they look like because I just haven't been down here since we planted it. Now Cody sprayed the herbicide on here. I did not. And it looks like it's just starting to work on these weeds. They're getting a little yellowing to them. But yeah, so.
Some of them are really tall. Some of them are not.
Well, I think they're in pretty good shape. I mean, we got 3 leaves. They're in 3 leaves there. I don't see any deer tracks even. Let's get down here. Yeah. My knee hurts.
I think this is the place where I hijacked the tractor, right? Or something?
Jackknifed the tractor in Baler. Cost me $5,000.
Hey, you only got it for 2,000 something, you.
You're right, 2,500. Now I got to do it again too for the new baler because it's shot. So yeah, if you don't like straight rows, you can look at the crooked ones. Yeah, I'm a little close there because you got to set your AB line, and then you look down there. So this is, huh?
Softer ground too.
It is softer ground. I'm really hoping these weeds just die. Spacing is great. That herbicide I put down better get in gear. We're starting to get some major weeds coming in here. I will have to do something about this if I don't get this under control. I think the spacing is awesome.
Yeah, absolutely.
It is. Okay, for a 40.
Some of them are skippers like this. There's one here.
There's a skip there. Well, it could even be that a wireworm or something got that. These fields down here are known for wireworms.
Wireworms.
Yeah, and if you don't know what a wireworm is actually a snap beetle larva. And wireworms will go and chew on the roots. But I could almost bet you, what's that? That's just a leaf. I could bet you that this was, yeah. I don't know. I'm going to have to, there's a skip there.
Yeah,
there's a skip there. There's a skip there.
Yeah.
There. But then it's solid. I was thinking that maybe the meter wasn't working correctly, but then you get down here and they're fine. But that's just the way it is. Now here's a rock.
There's a deer right there.
What? Oh yeah, there went a deer down there. Theresa saw it. So here's a rock, and this will cause a skip because the seed won't get placed where it belongs, and it probably did, and a bird came and picked it out. This is a very stony field. You can just see all the rocks that are here. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with it. But there's deer tracks. I'm not concerned with deer damage on corn. Deer damage on soybeans was always the killer for me. Drove me nuts because once corn gets out of the ground, it grows like hell. It grows really quick. And when it gets about knee high, that's when the deer will actually do the most damage, when it's knee high.
There's a deer track.
Yeah, there's deer tracks. So right now they'll come and they'll pick a leaf off. Big deal. They'll eat a leaf. But when it gets about knee high, or just, yeah, about knee high, they'll go down the row and they'll pull the center out of the stalk. Okay? And what that does is just destroys its ability to pollinate. It takes the tassel right out. Even though that corn is only knee high or so, that tassel is in there. And it pulls the heart out of the plant, basically rendering it mute. So that's when deer do the most damage. The second most damaging part of deer is when it's tasseling and the ear is coming out and the silk is there. They love the silk. So what I have bought is a medium ear set variety. And the reason I bought the medium ear set, this is a little wet here, medium ear set variety is because deer like to eat at about that knee-high range. So most varieties are low because you don't want too much weight up in the stalk because it could fall over. So I get that medium to tall ear set so that when it does pollinate, it doesn't, the ear is higher and the deer actually have to look up to grab it. Deer are inherently lazy. And another thing is, I went to 30-inch rows over 38. The 30-inch rows are much narrower, and the population, if you can see, is within that 5 1/4, 5 1/2 inch spacing. And deer don't like to go across corn rows. They like to go, what, that down there?
Grass?
It looks like grass. It does look like grass. It is yellowing, so.
It's grass.
It is. It's yellowing.
Boo-boo in here, babe.
Yeah, that's what happens when you get a little too close with the corn planter. That's all. So yeah, that grass is yellowing. You see it's turning white actually. This is turning white. So the herbicide is actually working on this. It's killing it. So it might do its thing. That is where the turkeys came and dusted themselves. That's yeah, turkeys. See, look, they scratch. There was a tom turkey here. See the shit?
I see.
Turkey shit. The little tom turkey, he got out in here and he's strutting and putting and doing his thing. And there he goes. Scratches along. So when this gets up high enough, the deer will no longer come across it. they will have to run it this way, and that is not their goal. Their goal is to go from the woods to the other woods way across the other side. So they're not going to like this. Now, this is going to work out really good. I'm very pleased with the way this corn looks. It doesn't matter even if it's in a wet spot, really. Yep, that's a pretty steep hill there. You can't, I don't think you can really tell. That's a pretty steep hill. And yeah, I'm really got a couple of days, and if this grass isn't dead, or this is foxtail that's coming up, I know what it is. If it doesn't start to die, I'm gonna have to wire up the 4450 to the sprayer, and I'm gonna have to spray it with Roundup, and that's gonna kind of make me sick. Yeah. Because I got to run over corn, and I don't like running over corn. I'd have to do it with a 60-foot boom over the 90s, because the 60-foot boom is set up for 30-inch rows, not these. So come on down here. We'll go down to the bottom end of this into this other field. There's an opening down here I've made. Yep, there is. There's a secret path everywhere. I almost got killed right down here. Me. I was cutting a tree. The only time I ever got chased through the woods by a tree was right there. You know, I was cutting a tree. It had fallen down. It had enough pressure on it, and I cut it, and it came up behind me. Oh. It actually came across. I don't know why it did it. It was the upper branches, and it chased me through the woods, pushing me on my bottom. So that's how that worked. But I mean, if you look at this, it is even. It is green all the way. Really well. So we'll go through here. I made this opening down here. I don't know why I did it, but I did it. Yep. I swear I hear people over there. Yep. But this used to be one field years ago. This field and that field. And my great-grandparents owned the farm before, and they did not terrace it at the top, and it just, all the water started to drain here, and instead of terracing it or putting in a grass strip, this is what you get. So yeah, you get this. I have tried to stop this from eroding away, and I'm gonna tell you, the best thing to use to stop erosion is tires. If you take tires and you stack them, boom, 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 like that, and fill them with dirt, they get to those tires, they do not erode. It just doesn't erode at all. It does a good job. It'll come over the top of it, but it'll always have a way to get through here. And at the on the top side, I had just put that stump. That stump, as amazing as this is, that stump is the stump to, I think, the 2008 Christmas tree, Madison Square Garden. Wow. Isn't that amazing? 2008 Christmas tree. I know the guy that contracts to put those trees in. And this is the smallest field on the farm. This is about 1.5 acres. And every year that I've ever put corn in here, it never did squat. And when I say it never did squat, I mean it didn't do squat. Look at this. I mean, either the variety that I chose was really, really good. The fertility program seems to be pretty good. But there's corn here, huh? Yeah. Beautiful. So, yep, there you go. And me and T is, and there's a deer stand right there. That over there is the neighbor's property. They logged it. We go down to the creek and then down and then up and across. Well, yeah, I'm pretty happy. Let's go through the woods to the other field. Ready? Okay. All right, so just to sum this up, me and Theresa had a nice walk. Everything looks great, like really good. I've been to all the cornfields today. I don't do a lot of corn. My first year in 5 years to grow corn again. And as long as the moisture's there correctly, I think we're going to knock this year out of the ballpark. I really do. I think it's going to be really good. I got excellent spacing, excellent emergence. Got a couple of spots where the seed did not germinate for some reason, and it is now germinated, which I thought was kind of weird. Whether there was a rock underneath it and it didn't get it into the moisture, and now it's got the moisture. It's actually starting to grow. So for the most part, I'm gonna have a double emergence. Maybe they won't produce anything. I don't know. Maybe it'll catch up. But anyways, other than that, even if they don't, the stand is really good. Deer have been across the field. They're not bothering it, other than that little Instagram post that I made. It's where it stepped on it, but that's nothing. So anyway, yeah, I guess I'm gonna post this here tomorrow, which tomorrow will be Memorial Day. So if you you know, enjoy your freedom, think of it. If you enjoy eating, thank a farmer. And if you hate the government, that's okay. I don't hate the government, I just hate the government. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Yeah, you know what I mean. Okay, so yeah, this is the end. Hope you enjoyed my my corn walk. Me and my lovely wife did go for a walk down through there. She enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. Yeah, and you get to see everything that's there. We did see a couple of turkeys. The camera was constantly adjusting for light. I dislike GoPro cameras. Just dislike them. I just don't think that they're, you know, they're a pain in the ass. Let's put it that way. Oh goodness. So anyway, that's my thoughts on it. So I'm gonna answer a couple of questions, like Eddie Callis and all the others that have asked. Did Cody buy a tractor and a baler? Yes, I've mentioned this many times. Cody has bought a 7930. It's an English model. He had to wait for it to come in. It is in. He went and saw it the other day, drove it around. It seems like it's in good shape. It's an IVT front suspension model. And he did buy a 1290 HDP out of Tennessee. He went down there about 2.5 weeks ago and looked at that one. It has an accumulator, a fiber accumulator, which he will be selling. It only has 9,000 plus bales on it, just like 9,300 bales on it. He's looking for $25,000. So if you know anybody that is looking for a bale accumulator for an HDP 1290 or any other big baler, this is a 3-bale accumulator. And I'm going to straight jacket you. That's it. You're stuck. And see, straight jacket. And yeah, so $25,000 is 25 to 30. I think he was going to list it for 30, but he'd take 25. I don't know. You'd have to ask him. But leave the comments in the section below. Clug Farm says, how many guys does it take to load a baler on a flatbed? Well, as many eyes as possible is the best. If you farm by yourself and you actually slip off the side of a trailer like that, you will die. And, you know, my dad witnessed a man dying at the Nebraska State Fair after the world's largest tractor parade. And, yeah, if you want to do things by yourself, go ahead. See what happens to you. Eventually, it will bite you. If you don't have a pair of eyes on the back side of you, you're done, buddy. Eventually, you will be done. Kevin Lynch says, what happened to global warming? It's west, W-E-S-L-E-Y. Low sunspots is cool weather. Another 2 years of that? Well, we're in a solar minimum, which is supposed to last like 11 years, and I think we're in it like 4 years now, so we're looking at another 7 years, another 7 years, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So another 7 years of cooler temperatures. Yeah, global warming is no longer a thing. They call it climate change. The problem is that foolish people think that climate change is new. Climate change has been happening for millions of years, and that's that. So they need to grow up and understand that they're being duped by their politicians to get more money for, I don't know, more bureaucracy. Maybe it's time to add some type of a loading dock. Well, a loading dock at one area and not at the other, it's basically the same problem. Using the hitch that I had Cody build works a treat. It worked great. Yeah, I don't see why everybody's hung up on me loading that thing onto a step deck. It's fine. I really don't see a problem with it. I've loaded them on my step deck. I've loaded them on Steve's step deck. I've loaded them on Steve's brother-in-law's step deck. I even loaded things onto a neighbor of mine's step deck. I've never dropped one off, and it's really not that big of a deal. As long as it's chained down correctly, Who cares? And it's not over height. Who cares? Get over it. Just get over it. Did you recently get the 7810? No, I did not recently get the 7810. I bought that probably 6 or 8 years ago, maybe even more. Might be 10 years ago. I don't know. I love that tractor. It's a good tractor. It's even better with the big fat balloony floater tires on it. Just runs really nice. Somebody said get a train horn for them for these cyclists. Anybody that's defending a bicyclist that give farmers the finger, who don't observe stoplights, just turn in front of cars, who do all the stupid things that were explained in this video or the videos before this, get over yourselves. Cyclists are generally assholes. They are just total assholes. They don't stop at stoplights. They don't stop at stop signs. They swerve in front of cars. They go two abreast. They don't travel in bicycle lanes when there are designated bicycle lanes. I love it when people send me things that say, oh, this is New Jersey law. Fine, New Jersey law is New Jersey law. I don't care about the New Jersey law. You still have to be a respectful person on the roadway. Now, I know people say, well, your tractor blocks up the road. Well, you take something that's 16 feet wide, where do you pull over on a 2-lane highway? Where? You tell me. I'd like to know. What, you want me to pull up, back this thing into somebody's driveway, ripping their mailbox and destroying their pipe or their tile at the end of the driveway? Come on. A bicycle can move over very simply and with agility and let people get past so that you can continue about your day. And I just realized my shirt's on inside out. So anyway, but with that being said, have a nice day. Leave comments down below what you think of bicyclists, their mental capacity to comprehend what I've just said, or the fact that they're just a bunch of spandex, lycra mafia morons that don't give a shit about anybody or anything but themselves.